Good morning, Wildcats. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We only have one more left after this one. Seniors, make sure that you are bringing all your items to school tomorrow if you want to pick up your graduation tickets. If you still have a final on Friday and you still need your Chromebook, then come after your final on Friday. If you're still doing your Edgenuity, then maybe you have to wait and come in on Tuesday to pick up your tickets, because we're not giving out graduation tickets until you've turned in all of your items and you've done your Naviance survey. 9 through 11, next week you can come and start dropping off some stuff as needed, not your Chromebooks. You keep your Chromebooks over the summer. But I wanted to address, it is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And I know we're almost at the end, and I hopefully you've already heard about it from teachers or from the media, but I just wanted to make sure we took a moment to look at some resources and bring this to everybody's attention so that we can honor all folks. So I'm going to read some of this on this website, and I'm going to post a bunch of resources on Google Classroom Teachers. You can look through some of these resources as well. So every May, we celebrate Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders and their innumerable contributions to American history, culture, and society. We honor the AAPI, that's the abbreviation for Asian American Pacific Islander, the legacy of those peoples that stretches more than 400 years to the day the first Filipinos landed on this continent in 1587. We reflect on May 10th, 1869. That was the day the Transcontinental Railroad that connected the whole United States from east to west, when it was completed thanks to the labor of 20,000 Chinese immigrants. And we think of all of our AAPI heroes, both national and personal, who make a positive impact on our country and our world everywhere, from our homes and neighborhoods to the chambers of the United States Senate and the office of the Vice President. In bold letters here, it says, in order to truly celebrate and express our appreciation for our Asian American and Pacific Islander friends, family, neighbors, leaders, and icons, we must acknowledge what the community has faced, endured, and triumphed over, especially during the past year. Okay, we know there's a long and disgraceful history of anti-Asian hate and violence in this country, a lot of it government sanctioned, and I'll be attaching some of those resources. And so then that was heightened during this COVID-19 pandemic. Through it all, the Asian American and Pacific Islander community has persevered, as it always has, in the face of unjust adversity. Thousands of Asian American and Pacific Islanders led rallies and marches across the nation to demand justice, and they were joined by people of every race and background in America. Their voices did not go unheard. So know that earlier in May, U.S. senators passed a bill that would provide guidance for local law enforcement agencies to report hate crimes, expand public education campaigns, and combat discriminatory language in describing the pandemic. This is a small step, but it's in the right direction. More can and must be done. Just so you know, this PVUSD also passed a resolution. Whereas National Asian American Pacific Islander Month is an opportunity to share the historical and current contributions of all Asian and Pacific Islander Americans, and the state of California is home to more than 700,000 students of Asian and Pacific Islander descent, kindergarten through grade 12. So we take this time, right? Also here, I won't read the whole thing, but I will attach it. Asian American Pacific Islanders comprise many ethnicities and languages, and their multitude of achievements embodies the American experience. There's a vast diversity within the AAPI community. So there is the resolution. I also wanted to, I'm going to move this over really quick. Oops. This May, we honor AAPI's impact on this country that extends deep into our country's troubled past, through our present, and far into the future. We must also reflect on what we all must do to change and improve this country's impact on Asian American and Pacific Islanders. I invite all of us to celebrate this month by honoring the full experience of the AAPI community and examining how we can each do our part to make it better. Okay? So there are going to be some things also attached. I have this, this website will be attached that gives us an opportunity to go through and see different historical things. There's some veterans history in there. There in this part, there's a lot of things for educators and people who just want to look at exhibitions and videos from the Smithsonian museums. This one here talks a lot about the national park history and the different things that they do to celebrate and commemorate this month. And then, of course, here's a section that's dedicated to Japanese internment camps and the photographs of Ansel Adams. We have many people in our community of Watsonville High School who have relatives who were interned in the Japanese internment camps and or themselves. Mas Hashimoto has come to speak at this school many times. He went to this school. He is a prominent person in our community who speaks about this experience often. This is when, right after Pearl Harbor and the bombing of Pearl Harbor, it was Japanese planes that bombed. And so then the United States entered World War II more aggressively, officially, and came to this belief that it's possible that Japanese Americans could be spies. And so the government signed a proposal, not even a proposal, an act to go and round up Japanese Americans and put them in internment camps. This was the government saying, because you are Japanese American, we might not be able to trust you, so we're going to round you up. This is very dangerous. And this is, again, government sanctioned discrimination and racism. These are the kind of things that we have to overcome, that we have to help overcome. We have to acknowledge that, and that's just one example. There are many peoples in the Asian American Pacific Islander community that have experienced other government sanctioned discrimination that we need to acknowledge and know that it has contributed to feelings of racism and racist systems that continually hold back and discount other people. So we lift people up. We lift people up. We acknowledge the history, the wrongdoings of our country, and we acknowledge the historic acts, the heroic acts of members of the AAPI community and the ways that they have lifted up this country, and we honor them this month. Okay, so there's also, here's another one. If you love music like me, I love music. Here's a website that has some playlists of a bunch of different songs. And then here's another great article that I'll be posting that teachers and students alike will appreciate. Okay, y'all, we are all about the roar. The roar, 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 roar. Happy Wednesday. We're almost there. Enjoy my video. I like listening to music. I make no apologies.